So now that we've got this sanded back down, and I'm not quite sure if it really did anything, we're going to come back and kind of lift this grain a little bit and put on some blue. But let's go in and let's take and mix some up. We're not going to do very much. I'm going to put a lot of alcohol, but a little bit of blue. And that's not going to work because there is a liner in there. Go ahead and take that out. Let's just work with that. So we kind of missed all that. We'll do the best we can, but what we ended up doing was I just kept putting coats on. There's probably about 4 coats here of blue, and I just kind of went over it to kind of feather it. It looks like in here we've got to kind of watch what we're doing because it's just not blending in real well there, but we may do some darker stuff there, darker blue. But actually I think as this is looking, it's looking kind of neat. It looks like it's absorbing different in here, but I may need to kind of thin that out a little bit so it's not heavy like it is in here. But it's definitely becoming interesting in color, and I think it's going to be okay for kind of a first run. But like I said, we'll continue to make this darker as the colors kind of set in. I'm going to do something here. See if we can blend this a little bit more here. I think that'll work. So that'll be it for now. But we'll take and as soon as this dries, we'll come back out and do a little bit more on it. But let's just let it dry from here. So I've actually let this sit for almost a week now. Just, you know, I let it dry and I wanted to take a little bit more time. So I have mixed up some additional coloring, and I want to make this, I really want to make it a lot darker, but let's just go ahead and continue doing just that. And I don't know how dark we'll end up making it. I mean, I guess we'll just go to a point where we feel good about the color. But, you know, the one thing that's probably the best thing not to do is not to get so rambunctious on the color and trying to put on too much all at once. Because I'm going to slowly get there. The color's really kind of interesting. I'm seeing a little spots here where I'd like it to be a little darker, but other than that, it's okay. The sides here could be darker. So I'm actually going to just use up what I put on here and just kind of go a little bit more on these sides, letting that black line kind of be my area. Well, it's kind of looking a little neat. I think we need some more, and we'll let this kind of dry out because it's really kind of hard to tell. But I like the darker in the center. Of course, this is probably just a different veneer wood in here, but we'll probably darken that up a little bit to get it more like this. And we still have this one area here. I'm not quite sure what we can do with that. That just may be the way that it is. But I think a little bit darker, and we may have what we need. So I'm going to mix up just a tad bit more, and let's go ahead and okay, that is really looking nice. I think what I am going to do is take it back inside and let it continue to dry there. But we are getting really close to where we want to be on this. I'm not quite sure. That may just be where I want to go. I'll take a look at after that dries and let's see. So that's it for today. Actually, I've taken and allowed this to dry for about a week now. I think it's the color that I want it. We'll find out. I'm going to put on a couple, well, actually just one coat of some spar urethane, just to allow me something to sand from and start kind of filling in that grain. So let's go ahead and we will stir up the varnish a little bit. I've got a little small pad and I'll paint that on. It's probably not going to take very long at all. And then the next thing is just to let it dry. We'll check on it a little bit later on this evening. So let's do that. So the one thing I don't understand is we're getting some bubbles on here. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this inside and let it dry in a little bit higher temperature, because I think what's happening is there's gas escaping still from the guitar. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but as you can probably see, the bubbles coming in there. So we'll take it in, warm it up, make sure that it's hot enough. It's almost 70 out here, so I'm not quite sure if that's it. But if not, we'll take and sand it off again and do it all over again. So one of the things that I did off camera is I have put 2 coats of varnish on here, but the second coat, is still kind of lifting some of the grain. And so I took some 600 grit wet sandpaper, and I just kind of took down some of the rough edges and kind of roughed that up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put another coat of varnish on here, just with our brushes. I have cleaned this off with isopropyl alcohol. Am I happy with the color? It looks pretty good. It looks better when it's all shiny. It's been dulled down here a little bit. But I'm going to put on this other coat and we'll take a look at it after we're done. I'm actually at the bottom of my varnish. I'm going to have to buy some more. But we're just going to put a nice decent coat on here just to kind of get it. And as you can see, really when you just do that, it is already popping. Now the one thing that this varnish is doing is it's not perfectly clear. It does have a little yellow tinge to it. And I think that's what we're starting to see, is this yellow tinge. So it is kind of taking that little bit of that color. Now the other part about this is I would normally do everything at once. I've got it all taped off, but I mean, you could spray this. But my thought on this is that we're going to have a lot of coats. Same with the boats. I think the kayaks now have 10 coats on. And what I did, my last one was, I'm going to let it sit. I put 3 coats on, and then we'll let it sit for a good 6 months. And it'll take and then lay down right. I'm going to look across this, and I can see some spots. Now still realize that we're still not where we need to be. We're going to be sanding this down quite a few times. So I think that's it for now. It's looking really nice. And still realize that this is only 3 coats. 3 coats, so 2 kind of took some 600 grit, took the little burrs off of it, and we'll continue to layer this. I wouldn't doubt we'll probably have 20 plus coats on this. I'll probably do 2 coats sand, 2 coats more, that kind of thing. I may take this one here down a little bit, but still at a 300. So that's it. We'll catch you when we're ready to do this again.